Today on Hopped Up Beer Review, we're going to be trying Strawgator. It's a strawberry doppelbock from Abita Brewing Company out of Abita Springs, Louisiana. Chomp chomp.
Strawgator, sweet and dangerous. Sip it slow, then it swallows you whole. Strawgator, teeth of flavor. One more taste and you're losing control.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you unprofessional, somewhat biased opinion about the beer that we are drinking and reviewing. Back to do that once again. There's Jay, there's Andy in the attic. I am Ben. What's on tap for tonight, gentlemen?
Strawgator.
Your can looks very green, Andy.
Because it is green.
You know, like the strawberry looks a little, maybe it's not quite ripe enough yet.
Maybe it's the light of the attic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We got a nice little, what do they call it? Swamp pack? Gator pack? I can't even remember.
Gator pack, I believe.
Jay, I think you're on mute still.
It was the Gator pack. You're right.
Gotcha.
You okay, Andy?
Golden. My brain.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. Now here, the Strawgator. It's a doppelbock, more specifically a strawberry doppelbock. 8% ABV, 27 IBUs. It fuses their strawberry lager sweetness, fuses the strawberry lager sweetness. So they have a beer called the Strawberry Lager.
Yep.
And they have a beer called Andygator. So it fuses the strawberry lager sweetness with the bite of the Andygator, which is a Hell's Doppelbock that we recently reviewed. So that's the starter of this pack, is the Gator and the Andygator. It is made with malted barley also and wheat. Also, the other malts are pale malt, caramel malt, and chocolate malt. And then it's hopped with Willamette and German Pearl hops. And after filtration, the fresh Louisiana strawberry juice is added.
So it does use fresh strawberry juice?
Mm-hmm.
That was a curiosity I had, because I've had the strawberry lager, as I'm sure both of you have.
Mm.
But I always wondered if it was truly fresh or if they had an artificial flavoring that they were using, because there is no coloring in either one of their beers. As if they're not using puree, they're just using the flavoring.
This one is much darker, because the Helles means brighter light. The Helles Doppelbock of the Andygator, but this one is definitely darker, closer to a Doppelbock. All right. So this is our second from Abita Brewing Company, the first having been the Andygator. It's out of Abita Springs, Louisiana, a regional brewery founded in 1986, approximately 30 miles north of New Orleans. And they started 1,500 barrels a year. And in 94, they moved to a larger facility, keeping the original as a brew pub and restaurant. And they're over 125,000 barrels a year now. They do small batch root beer, sodas, and hop water. And it's the oldest craft brewery in Louisiana, as well as one of the oldest in the Southeast. And Abita Springs is named because it has spring water, and that's where they source the water for the beer. But yeah.
Again, I'm surprised it took us as long as it did to review a couple of anything from Abita, because we all kind of grew up with it. So.
Yeah, I think our collective scores on Abita maybe why.
Probably.
Let's see how this one goes tonight. Who's had this particular one before? Are we all at this point? Yeah, we all have. All right. Anybody want to volunteer to go first tonight? If not, I'll go first.
What?
I'll go first.
What? Is there something wrong with the universe?
Every once in a while the stars align where I do not only the intro, but I also go first. I think your last statement there about our combined scores here is telling based on what I'm about to say.
Across the Abita portfolio.
Yeah. This beer for me is not good at all. The strawberry gives it too much of a medicinal taste. I feel like I'm taking medicine as a kid that had a strawberry flavor because it lingers on the back and is not good. We bought this Gator pack came with like 3 of these. So I think I've had one. I had at least one of the other ones, and I don't know that I made it all the way through it. I do not like this. This is very close to me, but not quite on the same level, but close.
Don't say it.
Kind of the concept to the Fruit Force.
Oh,
not near as bad, but it's the same kind of bad. I mean, this is one that I will avoid going forward. I'm going to give it a 3. I do not like it.
Wow.
Jay, what do you think?
I'm not as harsh as you, and I think if you look at your scores, you didn't rate it that harsh when you drank it last time. But
stop looking at my scores, Jay.
Yeah, I know.
Violated. Don't look at me.
Yeah. That's kind of the reason I ask about the Louisiana strawberry flavoring versus artificial flavoring, because to me, this and the strawberry lager almost taste like they have artificial flavoring to them. The combination of combining their lager with this Andy Gator, to me, I don't think is a great marriage.
Well, I will say that I may have misspoke. They said the strawberry lager sweetness.
Right. I understood what you said.
Yeah. So I don't know if they did pour the lager and into that. I think it's just the juice that they use for the lager.
The principle, either way, still doesn't quite work as well. To me, it has that kind of that medicinal taste. I think you get, Ben, is the overly alcoholic taste to it in a lot of ways. I don't think it's horrible. It's not something I'm really gonna seek out. I'd probably give it a 6.5. I'll finish it, but yeah, it's not up there with the Fruit Force in my mind.
You mean down there?
Stands alone. Yeah. As low as the Fruit Force.
Saw them for 2 for $5 at my local grocery store in the big pint cans
thank you.
recently. So I'll grab you a couple Fruit Forces.
Yeah. Send those to Joey.
Yeah. Andy.
This is of the 4 that I think I can recall as one of the more palatable that's in that pack, but is definitely above the plain Andy Gator. And I don't know if it's just adding the juice to it that helps it, but I can see where you say a medicinal taste, having that sweet. It tastes. You get the alcohol taste like you'd mentioned, Jay, but not in a good alcohol taste way. Medicinal alcohol, medicinal imitation or fake juice.
It's like the fake pharmacy tussin.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like a tussin.
Mm-hmm.
And just like I said with Andy Gator, the 8% is the only redeeming value, I believe. But it is definitely better. I'm going to give it a little lower score than I had the original time that I tried it. I'm going to give it a 6. It's just not something I would want to reach for. I don't know. And this is another reason because why we waited almost 4 years to do an Abita. And I don't know if it's their water. We've mentioned it before. I don't know.
It could be, but part of it's nostalgia for some of us. I mean, like I said, when we reviewed Andigator, we weren't allowed to have the higher ABV beers that they produced in the states that we grew up in. So when we could get like a Andigator, or a Turbo Dog, or a Purple Haze, that was thrilling because they were much higher ABV than we were allowed to have in our states because of the local restrictions and laws. So Strawgator wasn't one that obviously we had at that point. But I would be curious if we tried Purple Haze and what we thought of that again.
They could have sold it.
Raspberry lager.
It's at 4.2%, so they could have sold it in Mississippi. I think the distributors just didn't pick it up and tried to sell it, at least in our area. I'm sure farther down south of the state, they would probably carry it.
I've seen it here a few times, but it's
the amber is 4.5. But I'm talking pre 2005 when they increased the alcohol content above 5%. The amber is below 5%. Turbo Dog is over, so we definitely wouldn't have gotten that.
Turbo Dog was the one I was probably thinking of the most. If you could get your hands on that one, because it was a much higher ABV.
Yeah. And I think back in the 90s, they may not have been making such a wide variety of beers.
Oh, no. Yeah. They probably had a 4 or 5 beer selection, something like that. Anyway, we'll let Ben do some math.
Math it up.
That will be a 5.2 for the Strawgator from Abita Brewing Company, Abita Springs, Louisiana. If you've had it, let us know what you think down in the comments. What kind of flavors do you get from this one? Do you taste medicinal, like or Jay mentioned?
Fake strawberry.
Yeah, fake strawberry. What other beers from Abita would you like to see us review, if any? It may be a while before we do that. Maybe another 4 years after we finish this Gator pack. Yeah. But appreciate checking out this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, cheers that notification bell. Check our links down below for some Hopped Up Beer Review merch, Hopped Up Beer Reviews Discord. It's a chat room and some other things down there below. Check all that out. With that, for Andy in the attic and Jay, I am Ben. Thanks for watching. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates. Ben's face says it all.
Strawgator, sweet and dangerous. Sip it slow, then it swallows you whole. Strawgator, teeth of flavor. One more taste, and you're losing control. Ooh.